Do y'all live here in Florida now?
No,
Or?
we're visiting my parents. We're supposed to leave tonight. I think I'm meeting my mom for like an early dinner.
So here's the thing. You're not a resident of Florida. So I can't issue her a notice to appear because you live out of state. So she has to go to jail for it.
Is this gonna be like on my record forever?
On July 13th, 2025, a Florida officer responded to a retail theft call involving an 18-year-old visitor from South Carolina who had been observed by loss prevention concealing merchandise inside her purse. The incident that followed is legally instructive, not because of what went wrong, but because of how a procedurally constrained arrest can unfold correctly.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Tired.
Tired?
Since 2 in the morning.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Alright, so these are the items that she concealed into her purse. We watched her select everything and put everything into that purse. This is her ID.
No, this is my bag. Her purse is out there.
Yeah. So they've been really cooperative. I thought that she was a minor at first, hence why the family's in here. Otherwise, they would have stayed out. But yeah, they've been really, really cooperative.
She's 18.
Yep, just turned 18. Yep. I'll let you talk to her. My printer's broken, so I've got to write the affidavit. I'm sorry.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
Trying to find the daggum.
They're different.
I do like 324 Lake 65 South Carolina deal. Family.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Has she ever been in trouble before?
No. She almost got kicked out of our house by her stepdad for getting a speeding ticket. Like,
okay.
She has.
Do y'all live here in Florida now?
No,
or?
we're visiting my parents. We're supposed to leave tonight. I think I'm meeting my mom for like an early dinner.
All right. She's 18. This is family. They live in South Carolina, leaving tonight to go back to South Carolina. She just turned 18. Mom, correct?
Yes.
Alright. We'll read you what we call Miranda warnings. Okay. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Having those rights in mind, do you wish to speak to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what happened?
I was just being really dumb. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, everything she asked for, put it in the buggy. Like, we were just trying to get out of my parents' house for a little bit because it's 75 degrees. And they're like, it's freezing in here. Let's go to the store. Get what you want.
Okay. So you concealed them in your purse there?
Yes, ma'am. You can look at my purse. I have nothing.
I'm going to. I'm going to search you too, so.
I have nothing else. I gave him everything.
Alright.
Before any questioning began, the officer administered a complete Miranda advisement under the standard established in Miranda versus Arizona, 384 United States, 436, 1966. The subject acknowledged understanding each right and voluntarily waived them. That waiver transformed everything said afterward into admissible evidence, including her spontaneous admission moments later. The officer then conducted a search of the subject's purse and person. Both were preceded by verbal consent, satisfying the Fourth Amendment under Schneckloth versus Bustamonte, 412 United States, 218, 1973. No warrant was required. No constitutional violation occurred. This is textbook consent search doctrine applied in the field.
I'm not used to doing that this time, usually.
Yeah, state. Do you have anything on your person I need to know about?
No, ma'am. I gave them everything back. I have nothing.
That's fine. I meant more along the lines of any weapons. Or
Oh, no, ma'am. No, no.
Okay. All right, I'll just have you stand right here for me. I'm just gonna go through here. Let me give phone to mom for now, okay?
Okay.
You're fraud.
Yes, ma'am. It's just strapless.
You're fine. I'm just gonna have you face this way. Alright, so you do have to turn around and put
Am
your
I getting
hands-
arrested?
I have to detain you at the moment, okay? You have tiny wrists. I do like 324, like I have female detained. Alright. You're gonna have a seat here for me.
Am I getting arrested?
So here's the thing. You're not a resident of Florida. So I can't issue her a notice to appear because you live out of state. So she has to go to jail for it.
Can I drive here? I can
So-
drive down to go to court.
Unfortunately, no. There's some
Anytime
requirements
you
that
don't
do that.
live in Florida, you have to go to jail for the offense because our notice to appear is for, like if you were a resident here, it'd be different. Then if you don't have any criminal history, we could
Even from
just,
here to Jacksonville, I couldn't give you one of those court dates.
yeah, you have to live.
Can we use like my
So-
grandma's address or anything? I'll drive down.
If she has no priors, it's gonna just be a misdemeanor offense. I think it's a $500 bond. If you use a bonds bailsman, you just pay, I think the minimum's $100, so it'd be $100. So you could go literally right up there, she can post her bond and she'll get right back out. But she is gonna have a court date, she's gonna have to come back for court, the whole deal. So, if she was still a juvenile, it would have been honestly the same scenario because you don't
How long
live
does she
here,
stay
so-
if I don't come bail her out?
Until she bonds
Until she bonds
out.
out or time served, 30
Yeah.
days, 45 days.
So,
We need it by service, I can't just limit this to your brothers and the rest of the family. Who did something so freaking stupid.
I mean, if she has family here and they want to bond her out, pick her
No,
up, but
they're gonna disown her. They're like heavy church people.
Alright.
They're not even gonna see.
you're under 21 in the state of Florida, you also cannot be.
That's not mine. That's my mom's.
Okay, it's in your possession. So I'm just telling you
Yes, ma'am, I
that
know,
you
but it-
can't have that in the state of Florida until you're 21.
Yes, ma'am, I
Okay,
know.
so it'll go to your mom, but
Yes, ma'am,
you can be issued citation for that, and that's a whole nother. I'm not going to, but just so you're aware, okay?
You have to go to jail. It is a whole process. I work in trauma. I watch these guys take people into me. It takes a long time. You have to
I would say, and I'm not just trying to be rude about it. It's just the simple fact you're not a resident here, so I have to take you. It's
We couldn't like use my grandma's address or anything to like say that.
you're not a resident. You're a resident of South Carolina, unfortunately.
The most significant legal issue here is not the theft itself. It is Florida's non-resident mandatory arrest policy. Under Florida Statute Section 901.28 and Rule of Criminal Procedure 3.125, a notice to appear may only be issued when the officer has reasonable assurance of court appearance. An out-of-state visitor with no verifiable Florida domicile does not satisfy that threshold. This is not discretionary. The arrest was legally compelled by statute. The subject's family asked whether using a local grandmother's address could substitute for legal residency. It cannot. Florida courts assess residency based on domicile, the state where a person primarily lives, not temporary presence or family connection. Providing a false local address would expose the subject to additional liability. The officer's rejection of that option was legally correct. The officer also identified an alcoholic beverage in the subject's possession, a separate violation under Florida Statute Section 562.11, which prohibits possession of alcohol by any person under 21. The officer explicitly declined to issue a citation. That decision falls squarely within lawful prosecutorial discretion. It reflects proportional judgment, not procedural failure. Regarding the theft charge itself, Florida Statute Section 812.014 classifies petty theft by value. Merchandise under $100 constitutes a second-degree misdemeanor. Between $100 and $750, it becomes a first-degree misdemeanor carrying up to 1 year in county jail. The bond set here, $500, is consistent with standard first offense misdemeanor scheduling in Florida.
So now I need to call grandma to be like, okay, well, we're not gonna meet you because your grandmother's in jail. For what? For a sunblock that you just put in under your buggy?
Do you want purse to go to your mom?
Yes, please.
Put your glasses back in here so they don't get lost and messed up.
But you can't.
She can't have that. And I'll make sure that goes to you.
Can you please go on my phone and text us?
I have other things to worry about for study.
You go ahead. 26. She's gonna be 10-15.
How long does her booking and
Our jail's pretty quick.
Yeah,
just
it's
depends
drive
on how
time
many people are
there,
there.
and yeah, me typing up the paperwork.
It's the
real quick.
end of the shift, so
Could she like follow us?
I mean she can. She
You
just
can't.
sit
She's
in
still
the
gonna have to
parking lot.
wait until
It's probably gonna be a couple hour process.
I'd say probably about 2 hours because it's gonna take 30 minutes to get there, and then paperwork, and then you gotta.
Take your picture, your fingerprints.
I'm gonna take this with me. They'll put it in her property, and when she gets out, she'll get her ID back. Okay.
this is gonna kill you.
The password is 8889.
And grandma. We are supposed to be back in 10 minutes, and then I have to go to jail for hours. What do you think? But I'm not gonna just let her sit there waiting.
That's a jail address.
Do you have any phone numbers you want her to have?
I know phone numbers better.
Okay, so you're good on that part. Okay. Will you send me a statement when you get it?
Yes.
With the time, I want to go ahead and.
Yeah, you can send her a link.
Huh?
Send her a link.
Okay.
I'll be that pretty quick.
Yeah, no, I will, but if you can just.
I'll be right back in there.
Whose bag is that?
That's not ours.
Not yours. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Let it be a lesson to learn from. We're gonna go all the way down to that next car.
So what all do we have to do?
Basically, I'm gonna take you to the jail. It's in a totally different town from here. It's about 30 minutes away. I'll work on the paperwork. They'll take your picture, fingerprints. Once you're booked in, you'll have the bond set. Mom or someone, if they want to bail you out, can come bail you out. If they choose not to do that, then you're going to have to sit there until...
Is this gonna be like on my record forever?
Will you stand by real
Do
quick
you
so I
know?
fix my
Because
seatbelt?
I'm going to school to get elementary school teacher. I don't like affect my.
Probably not.
I don't want to affect my career?
I mean, they'll probably ask you about it.
Apparently my seatbelt. What's the difference between the two?
Felony, you can't own guns, you can't vote, you can't do a lot of things.
What is going on with this?
Use your
Is it because it wasn't a certain amount or something?
It's because you're not a resident in the state of Florida.
That's the only reason why.
Can you see if you can get that?
Whenever I get there, can I call people or do I have to wait?
You gotta wait till they book you in.
Then there's they have like payphones in the cell, so
They're
you can.
free in booking.
But they're free in booking, so you can make a call.
Like
for
whenever
free.
I'm waiting to get booked?
No, you just like push harder.
Am I
I'll get the air on back here for you, okay?
It's okay. And whenever I get there, I'm going to be changed out of my clothes too. And everything changed.
But
They'll change her into like
a jumpsuit
yeah, and
and
different
orange
shoes.
Crocs. And you get a Florida ID if they look like jail.
All right, I'll get the air going for you in just a
I already
second.
turned it
Okay.
on.
Oh, thank you.
Send the link before you take off. Yep. You have the email, right?
Yeah.
I'll just send you this picture.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Just what I wanted when I'm tired as crap.
The responding officer receives an A-. Miranda was complete and properly obtained. The consent search was lawfully executed. The non-resident policy was applied accurately and explained with patience under sustained family pressure. The one deduction. The officer stated the arrest would be on the subject's record forever. Technically true if untreated, but incomplete. Florida Statute Section 948.08 provides pretrial diversion options for first-time misdemeanor offenders that can result in dismissal and no permanent record. That information was not offered. The subject receives a B+, full, immediate compliance with every lawful command, consent freely given, composed under emotional duress. The deduction. A voluntary post-Miranda admission is legally valid, but strategically unnecessary. The correct approach after waiving Miranda is to provide a factual account only, not a spontaneous characterization of one's own conduct. Admissions made at scene become permanent evidentiary record. The lesson from this interaction: residency status is a legal variable that most people never consider when traveling. A misdemeanor offense that would result in a citation and a future court date for a local resident becomes a mandatory physical arrest for an out-of-state visitor under the same facts. Before traveling, understanding the arrest and appearance laws of the state you are entering, not just criminal law, is practical legal preparation. And if you find yourself detained, exercising your right to remain silent after a Miranda waiver is still possible. Silence after waiver is legally protected. Use it. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching.